Look, up in the sky. It's a bird. It's a plane. It's BBC Radio 1's residency. One day, years ago, 3 superstar DJs fell to earth. Their only goal was to save the world one set at a time. Now, they've joined forces to become the defenders of Radio 1's residency. This week, it's Kutski, defender of the hardest beats, champion of the decks, a valiant, courageous fighter against the evil forces of anything under 140 beats per minute.
Yes, it's Kutski, BBC Radio 1 on the residency. Many thanks to Phil for the past 2 hours. Philly T in the place to be, the mighty MC. His hardcore name. For the next 2 hours, if you're into your hard beats, you're in the right place. You're locked into BBC Radio 1's residency this week with myself, Kutski. 2 hours of the hardest, finest beats around. We're live and direct in the studio and we want to hear from you. What are you up to tonight? The unofficial start to the weekend. Kicking things off now, brand new track, Audiofreq featuring Break Free. He calls this one Incoming. Big techie beats. Before we get into the hard stuff, it's Kutski, BBC Radio 1.
BBC Radio 1's residency with Kutski.
From you live and direct in the studio. 81199 on the text. BBC Radio 1 on Facebook. At BBC R1 on Twitter. Already going wild on the social networks. Big shout to Danny, Re-Nice, Sophie, Andy.
Just one day.
So if you're new to the show, welcome. You're in for an amazing experience for the next 2 hours. A show called The Residency. 3 DJs on weekly rotation. What we all do is we represent the finest dance music, okay, you're going to hear anywhere in the world, across all the different styles. My name's Kutski, and I represent the harder styles of dance music. Heidi was in last week, Mosca's up next week. But this week it's all about the hard stuff, as you might have guessed by the track in the background. We've got Inspiration Generation, a feature. We'll be explaining more about that later in the show. We've got Fracas and Darwin in for that. We've got the hardest record in the world from Anime, Gabba from Italy. And in the guest mix this week in the studio, Alex Kidd's going to be joining us later on. But right now we get back into the warm-up mix. Sounds of Hardwell, Apollo, but with that tougher twist. It's Noisecontrollers on the remix. Check it out. It's Kutski, BBC Radio 1.
This is Kutski on Radio 1.
Shouts out to Jodie in Staffordshire, Simon in Northern Ireland, Will out in Wales, all the crew online locked in. Track in the background now, something by Showtek and Noisecontrollers entitled Get Loose. Massive tune for me for many months now. Now officially released, I believe. Doing the damage out on all the scenes right through from hardstyle, through to house, through to trance, through to dubstep, mumbaton, you name it. Everyone's playing this tune.
Ready to groove.
Radio 1.
Kutski plays hard dance and hardcore.
Welcome. I'm the DJ. Follow me in this new dimension. We're gonna start here. Let's go.
Okay, it's time to get into the heartbeats now. As we get into I kind of call it the bouncy mix. There isn't really a name for this style of music. Basically, the fun side of hard music. Before we get into the really rough stuff later on in the show. Kicking things off with a cheeky little bootleg that I picked up off Zatox recently from Italy, Hardstyle producer. And this is his re-edit of Zenith. I'm your DJ. Check it out, it's Kutski Radio 1.
I'm your DJ. Bass, drums, and melody. Check it out. Are you ready to clap your hands and move your feet? I'm your DJ.
Let's go.
Do you love what you feel when you know my love is real, baby?
rocking out with the hardstyle beats. Sounds of the Tweekaz, Real Love. Let's get some shouts on the go. Big shout to Paul, who says absolute filth on Radio 1 tonight. Not going to sleep for a while. Hashtag bed shapes. I like that. Maybe we could get that trending. Bed shapes. Shout to George, who said he had to jump in the car to listen to the show, to drive around the block, because he wants to turn the bass up and not annoy anyone. Maybe pick different blocks to do laps around, so don't end up with an ASBO for it or something. Big shout to Mick, sitting and playing FIFA while listening to it. Hashtag Top Thursday. Sam texted in to say how much he's loving the Noisecontrollers mix of Apollo. Says the M61 is going off Manchester style. So if you want to shout, get in touch. We want to hear from you live and direct. BBC Radio 1, hit us up 81199 on the text. Facebook and Twitter, you know how to do it. It's Kutski Radio 1.
Last night, all I can remember is a song that goes like this.
Yes, BBC Radio 1, the residency, Thursday night into Friday morning with myself, Kutski, bringing you the hard beats. Coming up in about 5 minutes' time, we've got our first show of the evening. A little thing we call Inspiration Generation, be explaining about that in a little bit. And having a chat with our guests on the show, Fracas and Darwin. But right now, big tune for me out on the dance floor, Technoboy and Isaac. This is Digital Playground. know I need to stop playing it, but I can't because I keep getting sent cool remixes of it. This one, the Playboyz bounce edit, kind of like, a Belgian flavour on it. So I think we've had just about every country in the world remixing Harlem Shake, and I think I've played them all. So we should move on to the next feature, Inspiration Generation. I'm joined in the studio by Fracas and Darwin. How's it going, guys?
Hello.
Hello, we're very well, thank you.
We're very well. How are you?
I'm good, mate. I'm good, yeah. Still recovering from the boat party earlier in the weekend. So we were out at an event called HTID in the Sun in Lorette de Mar, and it's like we both played on a boat party together. And Fracas, tell me a little bit about that boat party. What was it all about?
I think you got the rough end of the deal, actually, John, really. Playing that first set, it was a bit choppy.
It was a little bit choppy.
I think halfway through, everybody just decided if we're going to die at sea, we might as well die dancing to hardstyle. So they did.
It's the way to go, wasn't it? It's like kind of everybody was like hands in the air, and the next minute, one side of the boat, then back to the other. And so even some of the DJs didn't look so good. I mean, I've never seen Joey Riot look so green before.
It was a bit of a scary experience for a few people, I think. Yeah, there was a few heads over the side, but we got there in the end.
Everybody enjoyed it. It was all good. So Darwin, you're kind of representing Hardcore Underground, a label. Tell us a little bit about that, because it's not the traditional kind of, the mainstream hardcore. What are you guys all about?
Well, for us, Hardcore Underground is basically hardcore across the spectrum. When you look at the label, there's so much sounds. We go from breakbeat to the sort of traditional vocal stuff, the big kick stuff, the big trancey freeform stuff. There isn't really any sort of sound that we don't focus on. I think we just like hardcore traditionally in every sense, and I think the label just represents
to cover
the
everything
hardcore
with
scene in general.
Yeah, excellent. So we've got you in for a feature we call Inspiration Generation. So what we do is first we get you to play a track that really inspired you to get into making music, and you picked a really interesting track because it's from the same era of music that got me into kind of wanting to be a DJ. What's this track coming in the background now?
This is a track called Teknostorm by the Vampire, and it's Sharkey on the remix. We were sort of got into music about 96, 97. We were a bit too young to be going out, but there was obviously the Bonkers CDs and all of those things.
Exactly the same thing that got me into it, yeah.
And Sharkey for us at that time was just kind of untouchable, really. And this remix, it's a really good example of like an instrumental track with a big hook, but it takes the chord progression and kind of changes as it goes on, and there's other layers.
That break in the middle is amazing, isn't it?
Yeah. Proper energetic. It's got some breakbeats in there, but it's still got the stompy stuff, and it just sort of represents a good mishmash of all the things we like, really.
Excellent. Let's give it a listen.
Inspiration Generation on BBC Radio 1's Residency.
Inspiration Generation, joined in the studio by Fracas and Darwin, and this was their inspiration choice, the Vampire Teknostorm Sharkey remix. What a massive tune this was, guys.
Oh, it's absolutely massive tune. Still love it today as well.
Still does the damage.
Yeah.
All just sat here analysing it, saying, see, listen to this bit, listen to this bit.
Yeah.
That's good after 15
Timeless
years.
classic. So what have you guys got coming up then over the rest of the summer? You know, we've hit the halfway mark of the year. What's your plan for the rest of the year?
It's a big year for us, and it kind of doesn't really kick off until July. We've got our first two albums, second two albums of the year coming out. We've got Brisk's artist album, we've got the next Hardcore Underground compilation, which is coming out in July. We've got a new website launching, which is going to have loads of cool stuff on there.
Plus the events as well.
Yeah, we've got our events just over the river in Vauxhall there. So yeah, it's a big year for us, and we've done a few bits. We've done Mark Smith's artist album this year and the Breaks album.
Yeah.
But
so the full range of music, like you were saying, you know, with Hardcore Underground, it really is about representing the full spectrum. And the track in the background now, it's kind of, you know, we asked people to play a track that inspired them to get into music, and then something current by themselves, which kind of, you know, shows that reflection. What's this one in the background now?
This is Free From Form. It's basically a track that we decided to do that would cover every style that we like. And it's basically got the breaks, it's got the happy side, it's got the 4/4 kick that's nice and driving, but it just has that energy all the way through, and everyone can get into it.
Awesome stuff. Let's give it a listen. This is Fracas and Darwin on Radio 1.
Inspiration Generation on BBC Radio 1's Residence.
Fracas and Darwin, Free From Form. Guys, what an amazing track, has to be said. Everybody vibing out in the studio. So if people want to find out more information about what you guys are doing, you know, if people are thinking, wow, this sound, I have to find more about it, where should they be looking?
The best place to go at the moment is hardcoreunderground.co.uk or hardcoreunderground.info. Either of those, they all point to our Facebook pages at the moment, but there's going to be new sites up next month. But yeah, you can find out everything you need to know from there. We'll have fan pages and links to
all the usual stuff. Facebook, Twitter, blah, blah, blah. Everyone searches for it. It's nice and easy to find. Guys, thanks very much. Fracas and Darwin, Inspiration Generation.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Could you guys please stop scratching?
Radio 1.
Coming up very shortly, it's time for the hardest record in the world, but up first, something a little bit experimental for you. Endymion and the Viper, Feral is Kinky, raging in the dance hall.
Raging in the dance hall. Yeah, we're raging in the dance hall. Harder, faster, taking it harder. We like to chill and take it easy and we on. but when we hit the club, we have to take it hard. We don't get lazy, you know we go a little crazy. All the bosses slay them all, we raging in the dance hall. Taking it on. Let's in the dancer. Chill and take it easy and we on. But when we hit the club, we have to take it on. We don't get lazy, you know we go a little crazy, crazy, crazy.
It's Kutski live on BBC Radio 1 into the early hours of Friday morning. And I don't mean to burn him on air, but I just caught Alex Kidd having a cheeky little yawn in the corner of the room. I think it's time we wake him up with the hardest record in the world right now. And have I got a beast for you, bearing in mind that I've just come back from DEFCON 1 where they have the Black Arena dedicated to the harder styles of Gabba and hardcore. So I've come back with a brand new release from one of the leading female artists in the hardcore scene from Italy. This is a track by Anime called Hands Up, and this is the hardest record in the world right now.
Yes, Kutski, this is the hardest record in the world right now.
So we like to play a little game when we do the hardest record in the world. So what I want you to do is jump online, the social networks, or text us in on 81199. When the beat drops on this, I want you to tell me what this track is harder than it. Okay? So we go harder than it, and then you fill in the blank. 81199 on the text. Try and keep it clean. Remember, my mum listens to the show. It's Kutski Radio 1 with the hardest record.
This is most definitely the hardest record in the world right now.
I'm tested. I'm wasted. I'm blasted. I'm crazy. I'm absent. I'm lazy. But faster. Come save me. Disaster. I am the creator. I am who I am. I am the creator. And you don't understand.
record in the world right now.
In the world right now.
I think you can agree with me this week. We represented well. Hardest record in the world by Anime, hands up. We've had some awesome suggestions through on the text, Facebook and Twitter for what this track's harder than her. But I think I need to just draw breath while we curate some of the finest ones as we go into the hardstyle mix. It's Kutski Radio 1.
Radio 1. Kutski.
Fat.
So we've had some amazing suggestions of what that track was harder than a. Harder than a punch from Mike Tyson. Harder than a coconut when you're gagging for milk. Rupert says harder than a concrete bowling ball. And how appropriate. Dan says harder than Chuck Norris ironing naked in the middle of DEFCON 1 after party.
Warriors unite.
And on that note, we'll go into this year's DEFCON 1 anthem.
Into the wasted
Sounds a frontliner with Weekend Warriors.
DJ Kutski.
For the gathering of the harder tribes.
More suggestions that come in on Twitter. Shout to Julian J, who says harder than the Big Bang. I'd say maybe louder than the Big Bang for the hardest record. I like this one from Sackville, who says harder than the final boss battle. Being a bit of a game geek, I'm happy with that. Daniel K says harder than a fridge. Fridges are hard, but so many kitchen appliances. But Andrew says harder than a block of ice. Yep, happy with that one.
Above themselves for a ritual fight.
Moving forward, it's all about the hardstyle right now in the mix. We've got remixes from Zatox, electronic vibes, brand new TNT, and all that just before Alex Kidd joins in the guest mix in about 10-15 minutes time. We're not even halfway through yet. It's all about the hard beats tonight on Radio 1. You're locked in to the sounds of the residency with Kutski.
DJ Kutski.
We took it all apart, but I'm wishing I'd stay. In the back room, something I heard you say. We didn't wanna call it too early. Now it seems a world away, but I miss the day. Are we ever gonna feel the same? Standing in the light till it's over, out of our minds. Someone had to draw a line. We'll be coming back for you one day. We'll be coming back for you one day. Didn't wanna call it too early. Now it seems a world away. We'll be coming back, 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 back. We'll be coming back for you one day. We took it all apart, but I'm wishing I'd stay. In the back room, something I heard you say. We didn't wanna call it too early. Now it seems a world away, but I miss the day. Are we ever gonna feel the same? Standing in the light till it's over, out of our minds. Someone had to draw a line. We'll be coming back, 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 back. We'll be coming back for you one day.
Big Room Tunes on BBC Radio 1 tonight. It's Kutski on the Residency. Right now in the background, remix of a big tune from Calvin Harris, Back For You. My new artist, Electronic Vibes, was new to me. To Tanker tipped me off about these guys. Said you need to check out this cheeky little bootleg. Massive stuff, Damage on the dance floors. Coming up in about 5 minutes' time, Manchester's own Alex Kidd, one of the leading DJs in the UK hard dance scene, going to be joining us on the decks in the mix, on the mic.
We took it all apart, but I'm wishing I'd stay. In the back room, something I heard you say.
You're in tune to BBC Radio 1, The Residency, with myself, Kutski, and it's time for the guest mix. I'm joined in the studio live by a very good friend of mine from back in the day, Mr. Alex Kidd. How's it going, sir?
Hello, John. Nice to be back in the studio with you.
It's good to have you back here, man. It's the first time you've been to the new buildings, isn't it?
It's very posh, very impressed.
Looks cool, doesn't it? It's nice to be able to show people around. Well, this is where I work now, my new office. But enough about all of that business. How have you been? What have you been up to on the scene?
It's been a crazy few weeks, actually. I've just got back from Las Vegas, which I've still not come down from. It's a really cool experience for the EDC festival over in Las Vegas.
So that's Electric Daisy Carnival.
Daisy Carnival. They've got a few of them happening around America, also around the world now, but sort of the Vegas event is the flagship one, and wow.
So kind of, for anybody that thinks that they've been to a festival before and, it's like, I've seen it all now. They haven't seen it all until you see EDC. I mean, describe what it's like, as soon as you walk in there, the lights, the flowers, the ravers.
Well, this is it. I mean, we play some amazing festivals. I mean, in the UK, places like Creamfields and Colours Fest, and I don't want them to get upset that, we're bigging up the Americans so much. But, I mean, really, they do things in a very American way. Everything's taken to another level. And there was no grass, no mud. It was all on concrete, which was quite puzzling at the start. Yeah, because
I was at DEF CON, and as amazing as that was, there was a lot of grass and a lot of mud and a lot of rain to go with it.
Well, yeah, when it's raining and it's muddy, you're not so happy because your Converse are completely ruined at the end of the event.
So what have you got coming up in the guest mix for us this week? What's your vibe at the moment musically?
Okay, well, I mean, at the moment the hard dance scene is just, it's a free-for-all. It's left wide open because there's people doing all the harder style stuff, and also even at the other side of the spectrum, the housey, slower stuff is kind of creeping into the jump style, hardstyle vibe. So my kind of set's been the same as I've done for years and years. I just sort of pick out which elements of the sounds and scene I'm liking and kind of mash it up all together.
Excellent stuff. Well, enough talk. Alex Kidd in the mix live on BBC Radio 1.
Guest mix on BBC Radio 1's Residency.
Bring the action.
This mother.
just stand there, let's get. Don't just stand there, let's get. Don't just stand there, let's get to it.
Yes, you locked into the Residency. Kutski joined in the mix by Alex Kidd. How's it going, man?
Fantastic.
So, these beats in the background, what have you been dropping in the mix so far?
Yeah, well, it's a bit of a mix mash of everything. So I've been doing a few mashups on Ableton, and I use a lot of them for my own sets and stuff, not really to release. So thought I'd drop a couple in the mix. There's also some stuff coming out the Kitikonti studios as well. I've been working on collaborations with a couple of new guys. One person in particular that I'd like to mention, Audiofreq over in USA.
Course, yeah, big name. Big
He's
name
doing
to watch.
really well, yeah. I think the techie sounds is doing a really strong. So one of the tracks, Just Get To It, that'll be released on Hard Dance Nation in the next couple of months. And there's also a new guy called Danny Williamson I've been working with. I've not really been playing any of his tracks in this mix tonight, but definitely one to keep your eye out for.
Excellent stuff. Well, I'm just looking at some of the messages that are coming in now, and you're getting a lot of love on him. John says, loving the tunes tonight. Alex Kidd never fails to deliver, never fails to bang it out. Putting Manchester on the map. He's hashtagging Manchester, man. How do you feel about you putting your homeland on the map?
Yeah, I'm more concerned about I never fail to deliver. What, like deliver a Chinese takeaway? Or?
Well, you've got a backup plan now, haven't you? So if the DJing doesn't work. Lee says, obey the kid. Of course, the old Alex Kidd slogan on it. Also, side driving on the M5 saying Alex Kidd blew the Basscon stage away at Vegas last weekend. Buzzing to hear him. Interesting on the M5, and he was out in America last weekend. Another traveller, maybe he was on the same flight back.
That's some distance, yeah. He's got some air miles.
That's dedication. So we're going to go back into the mix now. Sounds of Alex Kidd, live and direct on BBC Radio 1. It's The Residency.
It's the guest mix on BBC Radio 1's Residency.
Radio 1.
Cameras ready, prepare to flash.
Baby from the baby from the baby from the
Ready, prepare to flash.
baby from the
Get me low.
get it.
Radio 1.
Yes, you're in tune to the Residency, Kutski, joined with Alex Kidd. Mate, what an awesome guest mix. What's this one in the background now, wrapping things up?
So I was at a gig with Frank Zenka, Scott Project in Ireland a few weeks ago, and the key with Frank is get him drunk and then he'll give you CDs.
So that's always the plan. That's how to get the promos out of the infamous Scott Project.
Exactly. A bottle of Jack Daniels doesn't go any harm.
So what's this one in the background then, so when I need to hit him up for it?
Yeah, you can steal this CD if you want. This is a Scott Project Sunburn. I don't know if it's coming out. It was just on a really badly scribbled on CD, so if it doesn't come out, then I'm sure you can send Scott Project messages and ask him about it.
I'm sure he'll feel the love from a Radio 1 play.
The Sunburn love.
The Sunburn love. So what have you got coming up anyway? What's coming up over the summer months? We're just kind of kicking off now into, the festival season.
It kind of is summer months now. It's gone so quickly.
You wouldn't think it by looking outside, but it is the summer, believe it or not.
Well, yesterday was warm and then today it's raining, so very unpredictable. But I think this weekend I'm flying off to Scotland for a Kidfectious event. Next weekend it's over to Cork in Ireland for a Kidfectious event. Then I've got my Australia tour for a couple of weeks, and then Canada, and it just goes on and on. So
keeping busy at the moment.
Yeah,
that's what it's like. It seems like in general, just like the hard dance music scene just seems to be on fire. There's a real excitement and buzz about it at the moment, isn't there, worldwide?
Definitely, and that's the key worldwide. It's like there's loads of new areas that are picking up on the sound, and old areas where it went a little bit flat for a while, and they seem to be kind of getting back into it, and it's just great to be able to sort of fly around and see all these amazing places.
Awesome stuff. So if people want to find out more information, where should they be heading to find out more about Alex Kidd?
Well, if you don't know where I live, then the next best place is going to be at DJ Alex Kidd, which is the Twitter address, or you can search for DJ Alex Kidd on Facebook. And just before we finish, I've got to say a couple of big shout outs and big ups.
Give you big ups, mate. Give you big ups.
Okay, big up to Shaq Fresh Out of a Pen. Big up to Yaffy Tricky, Polski, Chelsea. There's probably loads more that I've forgotten.
Big up the crew. Big up the Manchester crew.
Well, they're not all from Manchester, but yeah, big up from Manchester.
Excellent stuff. Alex Kidd in the mix. Thank you very much. It's Radio 1 Kutski. Now let's go in for a little bit of hardcore.
It feels like everything is closing in on me. Feels like everything is closing in on me. There's not a single place that I could ever be. A magical spell has been brought upon me from which I can't escape. A darker force has taken over, ready to alternate. Can you break the spell? You're as evil hell. I need to figure out where I'll be. Magic is the night. I'm taking up the fight. It's time to break the spell one last time. Can you break the spell? You're as evil hell. I need to figure out where I'll be. Magic is the night. I'm taking up the fight. It's time to break the spell one last time. Feels like everything is closing in on me. There's not a single place that I could ever be. A magical spell has been brought upon me from which I can't escape. A darker force has taken over, ready to alternate. Can you break the spell? You're as evil hell. I need to figure out where I belong. Magic is the night. I'm taking up the fight. Time to break the spell one last time. Can you break the spell? You're as evil hell. I need to figure out where I belong. Magic as the night. I'm taking up the fight. It's time to break the spell one last time. Can you break the spell?
tempo. Y'all getting busy on a tempo. Y'all getting busy on a tempo.
Know the score.
Yes, winding the clock back on this one now. Going for some classic Dutch sounds from DJ Sim and DJ Weirdo. Go get busy.
Getting busy on a tempo.
And before that, you heard Gamma and WizKid. We Are the Vampires, brand new Modulate remix. And kicking off the hardcore mix this week by some hardstylers, the Tweekaz with Break the Spell. But of course, the UK hardcore vibe provided by the UK legend that is Hixie. Still got some rough beats on the hardcore tip before we finish with the UK. And then we're going old school at the end of the show. And I think we're going to probably try and drag Toddler in for a little dance to the old school beats before he takes over the airwaves 2 till 4 a.m. But right now we go back in. Let's go get busy. Kutski, BBC Radio 1.
Radio 1.
Bringing the hard beats. It's Kutski on Radio 1's Residency. Not pulling any punches tonight. I think we've ticked just about all styles of music from the harder range. We've had some of the tough housey beats, some techie beats, courtesy of Alex Kidd in the mix. Fracas and Darwin throwing down some classic hardcore, some upfront stuff. We've had hardstyle, the reverse bass, the rough stuff, the raw kicks, the gabber. With one style missing. We're yet to pay homage to where our scene comes from, the core of rave music. Back to the old school. We've got about 10 minutes to go. Let's wind the clock back.
Hello.
Radio 1.
Injected with a poison.
Bringing the big tunes, it's Kutski Radio 1.
DJ Kutski, taking you back to the old school. Alright, hold
tight. Injected with a poison.
a license to play them kind of dope later, you know. But you want to get locked up. I tell you,
yes, it's Kutski, BBC Radio 1. And we've managed to drop a jungle classic to kind of lure Toddler T across from the other studio. How's it going, man?
I'm good, man. I was thinking, yo, is that how you going on, Kutski, with the jungle?
That's what I'm going down tonight, man.
I know you're going like that, man. There's secret weapons in your box, bro.
That's what it's about. That's what it's about.
Yeah, bro.
So what's happening? What's going on in the world of Toddler T?
Oh, man, packing for Glastonbury tomorrow. So excited, man. I can't wait. I'm going just for Saturday.
Yeah.
I might
Not camping?
I don't know, because I was going to come back Saturday night, Sunday morning, but I've got a strange feeling I might end up in a random tent or Winnebago if I get too excited and don't want to come home.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure what's going to happen yet. But then again, that's Glastonbury.
That's what it's about, mate. It's part of the festival experience, isn't it?
Exactly.
So you're taking over the airwaves at 2. What's coming up on the show tonight,
All right,
man?
we've got Grime Royalty Jammer in the building. We've got the peak of the week, got the final vinyl. And have you heard our feature called Jungle Jukebox, Kutski?
Oh, of course I know that, mate. Listen, that's what I live for on the drive home.
I thought that's what I heard the rumours about you. You can play that tonight. You just text 81199 if you want to play the Jungle Jukebox. Basically, to cut a long story short, we play some tunes, you say selector, and if we got on that tune, you play the tune. It's very technical.
Yeah, I like the sound of it, man.
Yeah, you could play it on the way home.
Yeah, I'll have a little game, mate.
Yeah,
I'll have a
wicked.
game while I'm driving a bit of
playing Jungle Jukebox. Good to see you, though, Kutski, my brother.
Good to catch up again, man.
Yeah,
Toddler T on 2 till 4 a.m. You need to keep it locked on Radio 1.
Radio 1.
Radio 1.
posse, make a move, make a move, make a move. Everybody posse, make a move, make a move, make a move. Everybody posse, make a move, make a move, make a move. Everybody posse.
Radio 1.
Radio 1.
Some final shouts before I'm out of here tonight. Big shout to Ross, enjoying the old school classics. Old school will never die. Also, shout to Liam on the text from Torquay. He says, wow, I haven't listened to these tunes since I was 15 and I'm now 29. Taking him back in time. That's what it's about, the old school vibes. Shout to Damo, who says, always loves Radio 1 at this time of night. He says, big up Kutski. Hashtag rave in the car. I like it. Big up Nathan as well, saying he was loving the show. But we're almost out of here. Finishing with a classic, SL2 Make a Move. The 93 mix. Not sure if this was ever actually released, you know, but by the magic of digital media, we can get all these classics. No need for a pressing plant. So as always, if you want to get the full track listing for the show, make sure you head online, bbc.co.uk, Radio 1. Look for the residency show. You can listen again for the next 7 days. Big shout to my guests tonight, Alex Kidd, Fracas and Darwin. And thanks to everybody for locking in all the messages that have come in. Much appreciated. As always, up next on the residency next week, it's Moscow. I'll be back in 3 weeks' time with the hard beats. Until then, this is Kutski signing out. Keep the rave alive.